What's up, guys? Welcome to the Bawa's show. And today we will be talking about the war on drugs. So, the war on drugs is a very complicated thing. And drugs aren't old. Drugs have been used for thousands of years for, religious purposes, for, other stuff. Maybe just to chill out. Like, I think the Vikings, they took these mushrooms, like psychedelics, the berserkers. Again, I'm not saying this is true, but I've heard something like on the History Channel said some shit like this, that they would take this shit and it gave them not superhuman strength, but let's say I were to slash them in the chest, they wouldn't feel it. Not saying that they're invincible, but saying that they're tolerant, extremely much more um, to pain. They tolerate pain a lot. And obviously these guys would die probably, but whatever. So the war on drugs, um, is it's an old thing. It's an old thing. I'm not hundreds of years, but around the war on drugs. I don't want to say probably began, but it might have began like in the 70s and 80s. It may have not said we have declared like how do I say how Mexico. It's not this fierce fighting. And again, I'm talking about Mexico. Should have clarified first what I'm talking about. It's not all these massive militias battling it out in the mountains. Fighting security forces, the police. Maybe killing a couple of police officers. Yeah, but it's not like how it is today. The war on drugs in Mexico is it's a shit show. Felipe Calderon, he declared war on the cartels. The war is still going. It's taken the lives of tens of thousands of cartel members, or just random innocent civilians in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we will be talking about cartels today. So in the cartels, you have all of these leaders, you have all these gunmen, and all these cartels are fighting each other. And when you get they're not fighting each other in the sense like couple fist fights, in the street, maybe a shooting here and there. No, they have fucking gunmen, soldiers. Like these are soldiers. They may be shit soldiers. They're not trained as like German soldiers or Russian soldiers or U.S. soldiers or even Mexican soldiers. But they are soldiers. They have bulletproof vests. They have helmets. They have belt-fed machine guns. They have rocket launchers. They have hand grenades. They have armored trucks. They have all these things, and they're all fighting each other, which is not the main. I don't want to say the main reason, but it's one of the big reasons that thousands have died since Felipe Calderon declared war on the cartels. So there are many cartels. There's not hundreds, though. There are probably like I don't know, like maybe like 20 right now, maybe like 18, 14. You have Sinaloa, which is the most powerful cartel in all of Mexico. Tijuana, which is, I believe it's kind of reduced now just to a couple cells. You have CJNG, and then you have Golfo. By name, not really. It's not a cartel like Sinaloa, or it's just by name. You have Cartel del Noreste, maybe also just by name, La Familia Michoacan. You have all these cartels fighting each other, and it's fucking Mexico up. You have all of these deaths that are happening. And people like to blame the United States. This is not the fault of the United States. We do have a gun problem here. But even banning guns is not going to stop the violence. That's not how it works. Like for example, in New York, they have really tight gun laws. Yeah, you still have these fucking gangsters shooting each other with handguns, and illegally. They get all these guns illegally. So even in Mexico, there's only one gun store in Mexico. One, and it's owned by the government, and it's very hard to get a gun. Um, so yeah. I guess we'll be talking about the Sinaloa cartel today, and maybe a couple other ones. I kind of just, I'm just kind of talking right now. I'm trying to see what what should we talk about today. Sinaloa. All right, so the Sinaloa cartel is Mexico's most powerful cartel right now. It's led by Ismael El Mayo Zambada, and he may be the leader, but he also may be leading along with Ivan Archibaldo, who is El Chapo's oldest son. He's 41. He's a white boy, kind of, and led by los other ones, his younger brothers. Ovidio. I forgot the Alfredo too. I think Alfredo, and the other one. No, it's not Edgar. No, he's dead. Not sadly, but that is what it is. And right now they are leading the cartel, but don't think there is no beef or conflict between them, because there is. There's kind of a proxy war, and if you go on YouTube and you search up Casquillo, and you go down find the Sinaloa proxy war, Amayo versus basically the Chapo sons. It's very interesting. Right now, Los Chapitos, they're fighting with Russo, who I don't know. I don't think he's being backed by El Mayo. But if he is, it's not enough. And Russo is either he's gonna die, or he's gonna have to he's gonna have to make a deal with the Chapitos and say, hey, I'll give you this much products, drugs, basically, to you if you don't kill me or lay off. And Los Chapitos can either say, sure, fine, I'll take the money to fight these down, or they'll say, fuck you, we're gonna kill you. So if El Russo does not get backing by El Mayo, that's gonna be he's gonna lose, and he is gonna lose eventually. He's fighting, he has El Omega on his side, who is a Sicario boss. But there's audio of him warning Los Chapitos troops to not to enter, his turf, his territory. Basically saying, I'll fuck you up. I'm gonna send 100 trucks into Culiacan, which is the capital of Sinaloa. And looking of a topo, a confrontation. Well, Omega, I think he was recently arrested for killing a woman. I think he was arrested a month or two ago. So yeah. CJNG stands for Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación. It is the second most powerful. It's a semi-militarized also. Don't think tanks, or fighter jets, none of that shit. But it's definitely semi-militarized. It's the second most powerful cartel in all of Mexico. And these guys are savages. These guys don't give a fuck. They're like those Zetas. They have these armored trucks. There's this video where they have these trucks, these vehicles, and they look legit. And they probably are. They probably are legit. They have it's all this armor plating up. It's fucking crazy. You see, it's like, what the fuck? Someone, if you show this to a video with somebody without telling them this is a cartel, they may think, wow, these are the special forces of a country. But no, these aren't the special forces. These are, this is a cartel. But whether these soldiers are actually trained like special forces is debatable. Some of them could be. I highly doubt that. These guys are probably just ex-soldiers or ex-police officers or whatever, or they could be not have been in either of those, but they were just hardened gunmen, really good. I know there's Sierra, Pantera, Elite, and this other one I forgot, or two other ones. So yeah, man, CJNG right now, they're fighting. I believe they're fighting El Mayo's people, men, in Zacatecas right now. And it's getting fucking crazy. There's these whole little villages abandoned, towns gone, because the fighting has gotten so bad. It's out of fucking control. It's out of control, and it's kind of weird how people idolize this. They think this shit's cool. Um, I'm not gonna lie, it does seem kind of cool. It does seem kind of cool. You think you're in this. You think you're all this. All this cool equipment. You think, you got an M4 carbine assault rifle. You have an AK, like an AK-12, AK-74. You think nothing's gonna happen to you. Then out of nowhere, some van pops up and just mows you down. This shit is not cool. It's a serious thing, and it's fucking ruining people's lives. It's really out of control. They are fighting again El Mayo's men in Zacatecas. They're fighting La Familia Michoacana in Michoacán. They're fighting Los Carteles Unidos. I believe it was led by El Abuelo, but I think he died. I think he died of like COVID or something. I don't know who's led by now. They Telpaltepec has kind of been like besieged a little bit. And don't think of like Roman style, but it's more like they've kind of encircled it. Supplies can still get in and out, but it's like they could lose this territory, which would be a major win. If that happens, if they end up going to the town, you're gonna be. I don't know how it's gonna look like. It may look like a legit. I mean, this is a legit war. People are fucking dying. But it can look something like a Syria, like Syria, but like fucking. Not as intense as Syria. I don't think there'll be these. All of these. I don't think there will be these bombings. I don't think. I mean, there will be bombings. They already have these drones. These drones, not these $1 billion drones that the United States has, but they have these like $5,000 drones you buy at a store, and they attach like a mortar, a hand grenade, and they have these little like plastic containers, like gunpowder, steel balls. And they drop them. There was a video out that it showed one of these drones in action dropping little bombs. I think mortars. Yeah, they're mortars. I think on these soldiers. I don't know if any of them died, but you can just see like a whole flame, a ball of fire come off. These guys just kind of scattered away. It may be something like that. And you're going to see all these, I don't want to say thousands aren't going to die, but it could, I would say the highest that it could ever be, if it really got very bad, like really, really fucking bad, in one day, probably 100 people can die. But I don't believe it's going to be like in the hundreds, I think the people will probably flee this town before the action starts. Most will probably flee. On other news, El M2, he was the highest ranking commander, I believe, in all of Michoacan or in some other state. He was recently killed, like 4 days ago. He was killed 4 days ago by the municipal police or the security forces or the Marines. I don't know. But he was killed. At first, it was like, well, is this M2? People said, yeah, he has the same bracelets. Yes, I believe either yesterday or today or yesterday, it has been confirmed that it was El M2. This guy was he was a hardened gunman. He fought with a Scar 17, which I believe is a Belgian made, and he died. He's all black. I don't know if he was gasoline and lit on fire, but he's all black. He's just rotting. He had maggots coming out of his nose and mouth. It was a pretty terrible thing to see. I wasn't shocked at seeing these videos, and it's kind of the same thing over and over. But it's that happened. I don't know if he'll be. I know he will be replaced. I don't know who will replace him. It may be another commander, but yeah, he had I think he had like 4 kids. He went on Vice. He had an interview with Vice. We know because of the bracelets and the Scar 17 he had. Whoever killed him, I don't know if they'll die, but they should probably hide for their own safety. But if they do die, hey, it is what it is. I have nothing else more to say. In other news, um, I don't know. I think that's it. I think that's it. Talking about the war on drugs. I guess on other news, Russia may invade Ukraine. They have, I think some people say, not think people have said, like 150,000 troops, like surrounding Ukraine. A couple thousand, not a couple, they have thousands in Belarus. Right now, today, they're conducting joint exercises. They have thousands in Crimea, which was oh, I'm tired as fuck. Which was annexed by Russia in 2014, and they have thousands on the Ukrainian-Russian border. There's also, uh, I don't know if these couple thousand troops from this like unrecognized, maybe by Russia, country, Transnistria, may get involved. If they do, I don't know if Moldova will do anything. I don't know that, but if the war happens, it's gonna happen. Russia is gonna be, I don't want to say fucked, but it'll happen. So yeah, I guess see you in the next episode.